right, we're getting into it. Love Entertainment. This is our 6th episode. This is our first. It's our first non-artist episode.
I'm an artist.
You are an artist.
I'm a poet.
Yeah, you are.
No, I meant, let me say non-rapper, like bars.
Okay, gotcha. I rap too, though, but anyway, you know.
That's it.
Every rapper come and he gets scared at the freestyle part. He's still waiting.
How that happen?
I've been asking them how they do it.
Real quick, I got a cipher that's in the works. We trying to do it before the midway point in April. But any artists, rappers that want to get in the cipher, y'all hit me up. We trying to do real freestyle. So if you ain't got no freestyling ability, that's probably not for you. But anyway, that's I just want to throw that out there because we was talking about that. But so real quick, just a backstory of how I met Courtnay. I was playing in the Flip League, the league inside of that Flip in West Ashley. So I saw Courtnay up there one day. I don't really approach people like that in public, so I was nervous the first time. I was like, yo, that's Courtnay. Everybody know her. The long story short, the next game happened to be the championship game. So I was like, you know what? I walked up to her, I introduced myself. We had a short conversation. She asked me about how I thought the game was gonna go. I expressed some thoughts, how I thought the game, and it actually went pretty much how I thought it was gonna go. But she gave me some encouragement, and turns out that we won the game.
Definitely did.
And it was because of me, not all because of me, but I was a major part of winning the game.
Definitely was.
And let me tell you why the game was so important, right? The game was important. It was in West Ashley. I played on Forest Park almost everywhere. I used to anyway, not so much now. But I used to play on Forest Park every Sunday, you know that. So to let everybody else come in and beat us, like, come on, brother, that was embarrassing. I ain't really trying to, I ain't hearing that. I was not hearing that. But anyway,
it was a good game.
Yeah, so that's how I met Courtnay.
Shout out to the Flip League.
Yes,
shout out to the Flip League. You gotta support that.
Yeah. Major shout out to Flip. We gonna have him on very soon too. So we thank him and his wife for reaching out, everything. So yeah, what my question to you, Courtnay, would be. What is your biggest driving motivation? Like, what pushes you to do everything you do?
I think the biggest thing is I dropped out of college. I come from a very highly college-educated family. My grandmother was the first of 11 to go to college, so this could be a story. So I'm gonna try and make it quick. My grandmother's parents were poor and uneducated. My grandmother was the oldest of 11 kids. And my great-grandfather had a set of skills that was undeniable, but he demanded more money, you know what I'm saying? And he just walked off the plantation and said, I ain't working anymore. He was a sharecropper. And then the plantation owner needed his set of skills. And he came back to my grandfather and said, listen, what do you need for you? You know, what I gotta pay you to come back, you know what I'm saying? And he told him, I want you to put as many as my kids through college, because I don't want them to not be able to read and write like I can, you know? So my grandmother, being the oldest, was the first of his children to go to college. And then I think 4 or 5 of his other children were able to go to college until the plantation owner died. So reflecting back on my life when I got a certain age, I was like, yo, my great-grandfather worked so his kids can be educated. Like nowadays, you can't tell an adult saying, well, come to work, we ain't gonna give you no paycheck, but we're gonna pay for your kid's education. They not doing it, you know what I'm saying? So the fact that he was like, yo, I'm gonna work so hard so my kids can be able to get more than I could. I didn't understand the weight of that when I dropped out of college, and why it hurt my grandmother so much to know all that her father went to make sure she was educated. And yeah, I got it for free. I graduated high school with good grades, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't no problem. Both of my parents met in college. My father got a scholarship to play football at Johnson Smith University. My mom got a basketball scholarship. They met and have a happily ever after story. My aunts, you know, graduated Johnson Smith University. My cousin, my brother graduated South Carolina State University. And I was the one who dropped out of college. Not because I wasn't educated, I just felt like, this ain't for me. And it was more of a, I gotta prove to my family, I don't have to have the degree. And now, all of my family members are entrepreneurs. You know what I'm saying? Even my parents went to college, they're now entrepreneurs as well, but of course they weren't taught entrepreneurship. That's something that they learned later on in life. So the idea of not working a job was like, what? You know what I'm saying? So then I saw my mom start entrepreneurship, and it was just like, yo, if I quit college, I gotta go hard. I cannot stop. Because then I feel like I let my grandmother down. Because she felt like you had to go to school. So that's why I go so hard.
Well, that's I can,
If that can sum it up, shortly.
Yeah, no, I definitely can relate to that because I dropped out of college too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know I did go to college, dropped out, and so I'm currently in that phase where I'm literally trying to solidify myself. I work in an office, so I'm in corporate America, but I realize in the grand scheme of things that I don't want to live my life on their terms. You know what I'm saying? Just having to get up, clock in. I don't even want to go to work. I gotta clock in, do this certain amount of hours, and at the end of the day, I can only make this certain amount of money.
Definitely.
And so, especially since I met my fiance, I just had a different mindset about being successful. And obviously, the idea of success changes to each different person. But yeah. So, anybody else?
Yeah, I got a question.
What's that?
What's your definition of entrepreneurship? Like your definition?
Creating your own source of income. Like that's pretty much what it is. You know, how I ended up becoming an entrepreneur I was working 3 jobs.
Okay.
And I was doing Neo Soul Sunday. It was my first show, event-wise. And I was doing it downtown Hughie's on King Street. And the event started off small, but 2 years in, it was doing good. The numbers were good. Like, I'm making money. I was making more money doing this show once a month than I was on my 3 jobs.
You were still working the 3 jobs?
Still working the 3 jobs.
Was there ever a point where you was like, man, I don't know if this is going
Definitely.
through?
I was nervous, and I asked my mom, because at that time, my mom had recently left her job to pursue entrepreneurship. She had joined the financial industry world. She's she's with a company called Primerica, so she does financial services, but insurance, life insurance is one of their biggest things. So she had been doing entrepreneurship, and then I came to her, kind of looking for her not to talk me off, like to convince me not to quit, and she was just like, "Duh, quit." And I was like, "You sure?" She's like, "Quit your job." You know what I'm saying? Like, you can, if I'm doing this much and I'm working 3 jobs. Imagine what I can do without the 3 jobs that I gotta, you know what I'm saying?
Put into it.
Exactly.
Put your all into it.
And so that's what happened. And it's just really creating your own source of income. You know, entrepreneurship is hard. It's hard as hell. You know what I'm saying? There's some months where I'm like, ooh, I made $30,000. And then there's some months where I don't make $1. You know, so you gotta kind of learn how to put some things up, manage your finances the right way. But especially pandemic, my industry got hit harder than anyone's when it comes to restaurants. You know what I'm saying? Like clubs. Like, so it's just, you got to learn how to maneuver. But entrepreneurship, it is one of the greatest things in the world, though, I will tell you. Because like you were saying, you got a cap in the corporate world. Like, you know where you know as far as you can go. You know what I'm saying? How much bonuses you can make. You know what I'm saying? In entrepreneurship,
it's unlimited.
It's unlimited.
Based on
The stars, to be honest.
Huh?
Yeah, she was for the stars.
Yeah, you can do it. You know, and there's no limit to that unless you ain't willing to put in the work.
So what advice would you have for somebody who's like scared to take that step to quit their job and believe in themselves, and they just
faith over fear. Like,
okay.
I started to post something the other day, and I kind of retracted it because sometimes things are interpreted the wrong way on social media. But I was going to post, like, the only difference between me and you was I believe in myself more. Like, you gotta believe in what you do. Like, you gotta believe it. I don't care if everybody else think you crazy. You gotta believe it. You have to believe in what your vision is, because it's your vision, it's your idea, it's your gift, it's your goals. It's yours. God gave it to you. Ain't nobody else supposed to understand it. So you have to believe in yourself more than other people doubt you. You have to believe in yourself more than other people think that your ideas are crazy and you can't make no money. People think poetry is a starving art form. Like, a lot of people, that's why you said artists, like, people don't know, I got into this because I'm an artist. I went to the school, Charleston County School of Performing Arts for theater. When I did go to South Carolina State, I studied theater. So I started doing events that were poetry-based, that was art-based. So you tell a kid right now who comes to you and say, I want to be a poet, people be like,
where is that?
I don't know how you can make money off of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, career in that.
Is there a career in that? But a lot of people know Bonfire Courtnay, right? A lot of people know that. but they don't know it started with poetry. I started doing poetry events, Neo Soul Sunday, the erotic poetry show. I was on an all-white erotic poetry show at Omar Shrine Temple, reaching up to 2,000 people in attendance for poetry. So to me, it was more so like people kept telling me, she crazy, you can't be a poet. Like, you know, there's Maya Angelou and Langston Houston's, you know what I'm saying? Like, but they came around the Harlem Renaissance time when being black and artistic was like the thing, you know what I'm saying?
It was the hype.
Yeah, so like now it's just like, she can't do that. And it was just like, I showed people like, nah, I can be on this stage doing art and get money. It just so happened that with that, I created this pandemonium, and then I had to become more of a businesswoman than an artist. So that shifted from, I got these people following me, then I got to the club world, you know what I'm saying? Then I got to these other things, you know what I'm saying? But the art is what started all of it. But when I started it, people told me I was crazy.
So would you still consider, my bad, would you still consider yourself an artist?
I am. I still do Neo Soul Sunday now. It's not as big because like I said, the crowd and the hype of things, the other things that I did kind of outweighed the artistry. So like I still do Neo Soul Sunday every first Sunday at my venue, live band, DJ, poetry, open mics, you know what I'm saying? And then we do featured artists that come from out of town and perform. So like I still do that. And now I'm in a space where I don't have to have 2,000 people showing up. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a space where 20 people can show up and I can still do this show because now I have a business that can afford to do the art without the hype around it. You know what I'm saying?
So it's so much more of a passion.
Yeah. It's more of a passion. It's what I started off with. I was able to circle back around to it and still do the poetry, but I don't care if nobody comes.
Yeah, because it's for me.
It's for me, you know what I'm saying? It's for the people who love it because I still have other businesses that can afford to take on the load of the financial load that the show, because I pay a full, of course, I pay a full band, I pay the DJ, you know what I'm saying? I pay featured artists to come down, and I hope people show up and, you know, pay to come in, but if they don't, the show won't go on for the 20 people or the 40 or 50 people who came.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm asking you these questions because they real personal. I'm an entrepreneur. I just jumped out and I took the step. And I'm putting all the money behind myself and all that. And I be having days where I be feeling like, man, let me just go ahead, get back on these people's job or whatever. But I just, like you said, I just keep pushing. And some days it might feel bad, but there be other days where everything just goes so good.
Right.
Just to push me to the next level, you know? So
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just really asking for advice and for myself.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
Because it was a point where I didn't know where to start. You feel me? So, and coming from like a family where everybody was just stuck on the tradition of going to work, coming home, it's like if you decide to do something different, they gonna look at you different. Like you said, they be crazy. Like you can't do that. I ain't gonna get you no money. But it's like the more I go, the more I accomplish, and I show people. And at first they wasn't jumping on the train, but now they jumping on the train.
I tell people all the time, your biggest supporters are not going to be from the people who are closest to you.
And that's what I'm about to say. The people that's close to me, they the ones still like
they gotta be made a believer. The people around your true audience are gonna hear it, know it, and flock to it.
Yeah, like
the people around you, they're gonna be like, you gotta make the believers. And then when it's the hype, then it's gonna be like, I always knew you ain't know that.
So what do you do with those people at that point? Do you like fall back from them?
No.
Because they never believed in you.
No.
I feel like, you know.
No, you don't.
You just
you gotta understand that people are human, right? And so anything that you don't know or understand, you're gonna look like, I don't know. Like right now, if I told you to do some off the wall shit, you're gonna be like, what? Like, bitch, you crazy. But I know, I see the bigger picture, you don't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, you just gotta understand they're human, and it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as they ain't trying to sabotage your business, like telling people don't fuck with it or whatever the case may be. Now, you know, but if they just don't understand it, they're not willing to support it, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta know that it's gonna come a time where it's gonna come full circle, and they're gonna be right there saying, you know what? My bad. I should have. But I give people a lot of grace because you can't knock what they don't understand. It's called ignorance, for lack of better words. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta give them some grace. They don't understand. They're not supposed to understand. But when it comes full circle, that's when they're gonna come to you and be like, my bad. I get it now. So but it will piss you off in the moment.
Yeah,
I used to get very upset.
And my problem is responding. I respond to everything, and that's my problem. I just need to ignore it, but it's just like, how can you not, and especially if I'm trying to look out and I'm trying to bring everybody on, like, I'm not selfish, you feel me? Like,
you gotta be.
Things I do for us not to work, not me.
You have to be. You
gotta be, especially until you get to a certain level. You can attempt to bring people on, but people only gonna go as far as they want to go, first of all. But real quick, I got my sister Chastity on. We were just talking about you earlier. So we made a wonderful connection. She told me y'all was childhood, y'all grew up together, so I noticed that she honored that.
I see you, girl. Yeah, that was a wild story. He's like, my sister's from Almondale. I'm like, what? Who your sister? So I'm from Almondale, ain't but so big. He's like, yo, Chastity. I'm like, Chastity Coaxum? He's like, no, Richardson. I'm like, the Spencer Gerald daughter? Hell yeah, that's my dog. You know, we grew up together.
Close, man.
Yeah, we very close. So shout out to my girl Chastity watching all the way from Atlanta.
Yes,
we love you.
Tuning in. My question would be, we know, or at least I know, when we trying to achieve a certain goal or get to a certain success level, there are going to be failures. And so I know you had a venue that you wound up losing. What was the biggest thing that you learned from that experience, just as far as what you wouldn't do again, or how you would prevent that from happening again, if you could at all?
Oh yeah,
you can't.
So I want to clarify something. I ain't lose nothing.
Right.
Okay.
I'm just speaking.
I get it. But perception is, you know.
Right.
Yeah,
I shut my own business down.
Right.
I had a landlord who was amazing to me, and I had 15 months left in my lease, and I knew I had one more incident in me to be like, I'm not doing this shit no more. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not who I am. You know, and so after it was a day party that happened somewhere, and they brought the day party to the after party, and there was a Waffle House, my parking lot shooting, and I was like, yo, I'm done with it. And I was at peace with the decision. And when I talked to my landlord and I asked him, like, what we gonna do? I got 15 months left in my lease. And he let me go. I knew that if it was gonna be a fight, then maybe it was supposed to be a not now yet, but it was too easy to walk away from. It was just, it was too easy. My landlord said yes. I had been done mentally, emotionally, physically, just drained, because to know me, like to really know me, that ain't even my lane. That ain't even, I don't even do the violence, like that ain't even, I'm a community girl. I'm a give back, I'm a uplift, I'm a bring out the best in type of girl, and to have an establishment that represented nothing of me was like, yo, I'm fighting the storm, because of course the pandemic, it just put me in a really tough spot to have to. You know what I'm saying? I already lost so much money during those months where we had to close. We couldn't serve alcohol after 11 o'clock. And then to open back up, I'm like, I'm trying to make this money. You know what I'm saying? And so in that, what I will tell anybody who has a business, if you're getting into a brick and mortar business like that, the only advice I could give to somebody, truthfully and honestly, is have enough capital to where you can say, I'm gonna pick and choose the crowd I want. Because what happens with a lot of establishments is you don't have enough financial backing to where you're just like, I gotta kind of get the crowd because I need money to come in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But when you have enough capital to back you up, and you like, I don't care if the two people are there. I'm gonna wait until the crowd that I want to be in here to be in here. You know what I'm saying? So.
Maybe pass me the hookah.
So it's just like, I would definitely say, I love, first of all, me and you and your lady were talking earlier, I love cooking. My boyfriend and I have a catering company. My father was a chef for 17 years before he left. My father opened up the California Dreamers in Charleston. He was the back of the house manager for that, so like food and beverage is something that I love and adore. Before I quit my jobs, that's what I used to work in the food and beverage industry. So a lot of people don't know that, and that's why they're like, oh, I'm like, I have a huge food and bev background, so I wanted to open up a restaurant, and I'm going to open up another one. Not right now, because the greatest thing that could have happened to me was closing a restaurant. I've been doing this for 12 years, 14 years full time, like entrepreneurship. I haven't had time to focus on my other stuff that I want to do, like having a baby, like getting married, a relationship. You know, like I haven't been able to do those type of things because I've just been in grind mode for so long with an everyday business. Like you get no days off in the restaurant business. You get no days off.
Very true.
Now that I have an event center, I'm like, oh, Monday through Friday, I really ain't doing nothing. You know, people are booking events on Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, sometimes Thursdays, you know.
Right.
Corporate things may happen, but it doesn't require me to be running behind a ton of employees and making sure people coming in the building got to be clean every day and every night. You know, we clean the building on Monday and it pretty be clean for the whole week, you know.
Right, yeah.
So I don't have to worry about those type of things, and I'm more able to enjoy my life. I have family night with my parents every Wednesday, you know. I'm able to do a lot of other things and just enjoy my life, for lack of better words, instead of enjoying work and making work my life.
And real quick, let me ask you this. What do you think is the biggest, when it comes to us as black people gathering and just going to different establishments, what do you think, I'm trying to figure out how I want to word the question, but pretty much my theory is that drinking and a lot of black people in one area, generally speaking, is usually going to wind up with some form of confrontation. What do you think about, like, you think that's like, you think it's just...
I still have hope in our community. I'll never say that, hence I told you I want to do it again.
Right.
Like, I just think that we have to, as business owners, we have to set the standard and stick to it. There are going to be ignorant people no matter where you are. And I have a saying, on the right, wrong night, the right person can do the wrong thing. So you can have a man who go to work every day and he's 50 years old, but his wife just was caught cheating on him, his check short at his job, and child support done took half of it, and today is the day where if somebody try him, it's gonna go down. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen older people cut up in the clubs. I've seen younger people, I've seen all ages, races, and I hate that we have the stigma to do this in our community, but I think that the business owners are gonna have to hold the business to a certain standard. Like, going forward, doing this again, I'm gonna stick to my guns. It's gonna be a strict, this is the age. And even though age, like I said, it could be anybody, you know what I'm saying? You just kind of say, but in this age bracket, you get a little less of it, you know?
Right.
So, you know, in this dress code form, you get a little less of it, you know? So you can't prevent anything from happening, but you can try your best to try and narrow it down. So I still believe you just have to kind of say, you know what? For them type of people, or how you carry yourself, you can't be swayed. You have so much to do with it. You got security guards who can be swayed. You know what I'm saying? You got employees who can be swayed. You have to set your business to where nobody in here can be swayed. I pay you enough to follow the rules. You know what I'm saying? I pay you enough to follow the rules, and you're gonna have to turn some people down. I don't care if it's your cousin. Cousin, you be acting stupid.
Right.
You can't come at my spot. You know, cousin, you don't know how to behave once you get drunk. You can't come to my spot, you know? And then you have to train your people to know they've been drinking too much. Cut them off. But sometimes, I'm gonna be honest with you, sometimes they don't even gotta be drunk. They just come in with, my mind is set.
They already know this person gonna be in here. They already had, like you say, they had something going on early in the day, and they
Anybody
if
can
I see this person, it's going down.
They going down.
And that's...
You answered my question. Because I had you answered 3 of my questions. Because I was about to ask my bad about it.
No.
But I would ask, what do you think about, like, you know, they're closing out all the clubs down here, ain't nowhere to go, and they keep upping the age limit, but stuff still going on.
Because there's no age on ignorance, right? There's no age on that. But it is up to us business owners. And that's the best way. It's up to the business owners to say, we're not dealing with it. You're going to jail. You're going to...
They got their people picked.
Yeah, and
I see it. They got their people picked.
But
you say, security got their people picked. The owners got their people picked.
We have to stick together and say, we're arresting you for tearing up our clubs. Like, I'm pressing charges. We're not just putting you out tonight. We're actually pressing charges for vandalizing my establishment. We're actually going to press charges for... And that way, when people see that, it's like,
Oh, the
You know.
boys, they getting strict now.
I know if you won't go there and fight because
Yeah.
you going to jail. Like you ain't just getting put out and put on a no trespassing. You're actually going to jail, and that's what has to happen. Like I already know next time around, niggas gonna be made an example of.
Yeah.
Excuse me for my
Yeah.
language, but
That's what
they gonna be made an
that's
example.
what they are.
Like, to
Right.
be honest, I just see it as history repeating itself. Because, like, y'all would remember when everybody was younger, start us. Or not even start us. Everyone, just like little small places that everybody used to go to just to meet up. You trying to have fun, but the more you going to fight.
Yeah, but
So-
people have morals though, you know.
But at the end of the
you
day, it
wouldn't
always be the bad apples that ruin stuff for everybody else.
It's not,
trying
but
to have fun.
what I will say is, what I will say to anybody watching this, right, whoever tunes into this, I will make a plea to the black community. Treat our establishments just like you treat white establishments.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Everybody going on boy places.
Because they don't go to
They don't
white
go to-
establishments and act that way because they know them boys about to lock their ass out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like treat those establishments. And I will say another thing with Charleston is we have a very small community.
Mm-hmm.
So with it being a small community and very few places to go, it ain't but a handful of places where you know the person you beefing at with.
Yeah.
And with social media, because everybody got to snap everything and
Yeah.
record
It
everything.
pushes it.
So you see who's in the spot, you know what I'm saying? And it's just, unfortunately, we go to the areas that we're familiar with and cause havoc.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, black community, stop bringing it to our establishments. Like
You got to stop.
because you don't know how much money someone has invested in that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know how much time they had. Like I literally made a decision. Like I put my life into that building, financially, mentally. Like my dreams, everything was in there. And when I decided to walk away from it, I knew I was leaving all of those things on the table, and I couldn't recoup it. But I recouped my peace.
Right.
I recouped my peace of mind, and that meant everything. I was able to sleep at night. I was able to not have to worry about the phone ringing. They saying Courtnay is a shooting. Courtnay, somebody got beat up. Courtnay, hurry up and get to the club. Like I didn't have to worry about that anymore. I said, I go to bed at 9 o'clock now, and I know that everything is good to go. I don't got to worry about no drama, you know. But as a community, we have to respect our black establishments
And
way more.
I also want to just add to that. I don't think people realize how what you were just detailing, all the work and stuff you put in it. You do all that for the people to come.
Yeah.
So a person is actually putting all their effort to showing you a good time, and y'all don't have the respect to.
And then they say we don't got nothing. Well, we don't got nothing because y'all don't take it. I thought we don't have anything.
But another thing, I feel like black clubs, they scared of police presence. Because one thing about King Street, they gonna have the police down there. Seem like when a black club come, they trying to get the police out of there. They ain't
Not
running
true.
around.
Not true. Not true. And I gotta say this for every black establishment in North Charleston, because most of the black clubs are in
North Charleston.
North Charleston used to be out at the clubs.
Mm-hmm.
They stopped being at the clubs because there were too many incidents that were happening, and people were trying to sue the police department.
I saw that. I read that article.
So now I wish that the city of North Charleston would come together like they do downtown, because the presence is there, because the city of Charleston has said we're gonna take care of what's ours.
Yeah.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, these businesses, we pay hospitality tax. We pay tax that come to y'all every month and on time. So the city of North Charleston needs to stand behind the businesses that pay taxes. So it's not the clubs. I promise you,
It's the police.
we begging for we were begging for the police to show up. Like, please show up. I mean, you know, the major incident that I had at my establishment where someone was killed, the police was on duty. These children ain't afraid of the police.
So listen, this deeper into the question. Since you're saying all that, I feel like the higher ups, it feel like a little sabotage, because all the black clubs getting closed.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
It feel like a sabotage.
Oh
move.
yeah,
So
oh yeah.
you say, like how you say they got shot and the police was on duty. That's a sabotage move. We know we can shut y'all down after this. We know we can at least get a strike against y'all.
They can't shut you down. They cannot, because technically your business is a victim of violence.
Mhm.
If I was doing the shooting and my staff, them was all strapped and we was shooting out, now then that's a bigger problem. But if somebody comes into your house and shoots up in your house, you are a victim of violence. I am a victim of violence happening to my business. And the black cops, what I will say, we got some black police officers in North Charleston. They fuck with us. The black police officers, I will tell you, whenever they could, and I'll shout out Jamel Foster. You know what I'm saying? Like, they wanted to be there as much as they could, but the powers that be would not allow them to do bars and nightlife anymore. But I do believe, because I believe that what they did downtown Charleston with the gentrification, I believe they're trying to do it in North Charleston. And I think that they want to get all of the black establishments out the door. You know what I'm saying? If they're not playing by their rules, you know. And I can't say that happened to every establishment. I know for sure I chose to say I am done dealing with these people. I am done trying to create a scene that they refuse to accept. I am done being tore down when I know I ain't nothing that happens in that establishment. It don't represent me at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm done with it. And I was okay with being done with it because I had been tired of people trying to paint a picture of me. I'm like, y'all don't even know me. Y'all don't even know me. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I was done with it. So I did that. But other establishments, I've seen people who had to fight because incidents happen at their establishments. We don't open up, we don't spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on chairs and paint jobs and carpet and lighting and sound and, you know, all of this stuff, the upkeep of a building just to be like, hey, come shoot up in here and tear it down. We don't want that to happen in our businesses.
I'm gonna see him like you about to collect an insurance claim anyway from that.
We don't want it to happen, but unfortunately it does, and this is where we are.
Okay.
Real quick, we gotta take a quick break, y'all. We thanks everybody for tuning in. Y'all can catch the rest of the podcast next Saturday on YouTube. I believe it'll be dropped by 8 o'clock. So y'all make sure y'all tune into the Plugged In Entertainment Podcast YouTube channel. Like, share, subscribe so y'all can see what other gems Courtnay got to drop on us. We appreciate her once again. We will take a quick break. We coming back. That's the end of this live broadcast though. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Listen, if y'all need somebody to sponsor y'all shades or something, I'm the tent man. Come to me. Like, we all kind of shades. Girl, shades.
You a tent man?
Tent man. I call shades tent, you know.
Because I'm looking for somebody to do some tent in my bag.
Oh, I got a tent man too. Tent man name is tent man too.
Okay.
Get you ready for the
Word.
Shout out tent man.
Send them to me.
You can go to my dog Cap, Cap 5 on Instagram. He do tent. He's the president of my car club, matter of fact.
I need somebody to do some tent.
Yes sir. So we will get that man in the mix.
We plugged in, y'all. We plugged in.
Exactly, we plugged in everywhere.
We thank Courtnay so much for giving us her time.
Of course.
We back at the Plugged In Podcast. Thank y'all. Like, share, subscribe. Plugged In Entertainment on YouTube. So now we will get into a different part of the podcast. We're not going to be as formal.
Let's
my
go.
shades on. Let me ask you, what do you think about? I'm trying to figure out how to say it. What do you think about? You like Sexy Red? You think?
Shout out Sexy Red.
Shout out Sexy.
And not like her as a bro. I had an entire question to ask, but I'm gonna just say that.
How you feel about her?
And what do you think about her influence on the young culture? That's what I really want to know.
I hate it. I love some of the bops, but I think that the standard is pretty fucking low. If this is the example that we're setting to, fuck my baby daddy and, we talking about abortions and, all that, I think the standard is low. For an adult who can decipher that it's just fun talk, like whatever, it's a bop, you know what I'm saying? Vroom, it is sexy, but I'm an adult.
Right.
And I can decipher like, this is just an ignorant shit I'm listening to today. Mm-hmm. But for kids to see this as the example, it's just, growing up, I want to be Queen Latifah. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people be like, like that's MC Light. Like that's Yo-Yo, like these are the artists that I saw coming up and I just had great examples. Don't get me wrong, I love Little Kim back then. Yeah, I love
used to be
I love Little Kim too, but she was gutter and gangster and more of a lyricist. Mm-hmm. So, like I grew up having different examples set, and now it's just like is this the bar we setting for the kids? Because it's just, we don't got far to go. You know, we don't have great examples being set. And as an adult, yes. Kids, hell no. I think that if y'all seen the little video with the kids at the daycare, you know, like they was joking to say there was a daycare. I don't know if it's a daycare for real, but that should not be the standard that our kids are seeing. I think that is whack. I think it's corny. I think that these are industry plants. I know they say it, and I ain't trying to be no big conspiracy theorist. I'm not that girl, you know what I'm saying? But I do think that it's sad that these are the artists that our kids have to listen to, and this is what they idolize. And you know, shout out to Sexy Red, because I love the fact, I don't know if this is really who she is, or if she's just doing this to make money because it's easy to make money off of saying ignorant, dumb, ratchet shit. But shout out to her for getting her bag. Yeah. I ain't mad. I can't be mad at no hustler. No, get to the bag. But for kids, hell no. I think it's ridiculous.
And I'll just say one thing I try to make precedent, especially me doing podcasting now. I know I'll just be around a lot of entertainers. My goal for what I'm doing now is slightly different, but just talking about the podcast right now, I never want to send an image out to the kids to make them think that things that they think is cool, the streets, selling drugs, stuff like that. Like, the money is nice, but I never ever want to send an image out to the kids that you should follow this and get this right here, because you know what I'm saying? That's at the end, first of all, the streets come with a lot of repercussions, you know what I'm saying? And so if you make a certain amount of money, a lot of your money is going to get spent inside the judicial system. So the money you're making, you really ain't even using it for your, you know what I'm saying?
Big facts.
So I just really want to say that I'll never be the person that try to influence the kids negatively. I'm always going to tell them what's real, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's cool to have fun and stuff like that, but I want them to know real life is going to happen eventually. And so if you're thinking that trapping and all that is cool, it's going to get you to a certain place, but it's not going to get you where you think it's going to get you to. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
And so, especially now in the streets ain't what it used to be. So telling is at an all-time high. People is not taking a charge, first of all. And if you get to a certain level where you moving things like that, you want to be hands off. You feel what I'm saying? You gonna be hands off. I'm sorry. You be hands off. You be hands off. Thank God for editing. I can edit that out. But anyway, you'll be hands off, and you have to trust the next man to, you know what I'm saying, be loyal to you. And loyalty is not a thing now. It seemed like a thing until you get locked up and you got 5 pounds in the trunk, and you got to decide whether you will take this charge for your plug or you gonna tell them to plug. And 9 out of 10. People is telling nowadays, you know what I'm saying? So it's 2 parts to every story. And I think a lot of, especially our entertainers, they don't tell the youth that, yo, I'm just entertaining y'all. This is strictly for entertainment. I don't live this lifestyle. Some do, but a lot don't.
But I think a lot of that falls on the parents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, I'm big on, teach your kids. You know what I'm saying? Have the conversations. You know, I know, it may sound old schoolish, you know what I'm saying? But like, when I was buying certain CDs, back in the day, my mom and dad would make me get it from Walmart, because back in the day, Walmart had the clean version of songs and stuff. Walmart only sold like the clean version of the albums. This is when CDs was a thing, So now everything is just so social internet, because you could just grab it or whatever the case may be. You had to go get the tape or the CD, but I would get mine from Walmart because that was the edited version. My parents didn't let me watch rated R movies. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just one of those things that parents just did things differently. Not saying that some parents still do it, but a lot of days now kids just have access to things, and parents aren't checking the iPads or the cell phones enough. You know what I'm saying? And things happening in school, and other kids are exposing kids to other things because their parents. You could be doing everything right in your home, but somebody else ain't doing right in their home, and they kids coming to school showing your kids all fucked up shit. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of that falls on parenting as well. The artist, I don't know if it's necessary. I mean, it would be great for artists to have that type of integrity to say, kids, you shouldn't do X, Y, Z, but it's not their job.
I mean,
Their
like
job
I
is
said,
their job is to make money.
Their image, so
Yeah,
what,
their
if
job
I'm
is to make
telling you I'm
money.
not doing this, you're
Yeah.
not going.
It's the
Teachers
parents'
done said
job.
plenty times, I don't subserve for real. I don't do this for real. It's just
Well, yeah,
music.
he say half the jokes, but he
You know,
talk about them all.
they say that
And I
you
ain't
don't
saying,
want to hear it.
and I ain't saying that you gotta say it every day, this, that, but I'm saying as long as you put it up there and you can get to that information,
Yeah.
I think that's important to
I feel
eventually
like-
say like, yo,
exactly.
you know what I'm saying? And
I feel
yeah,
like it takes a village to raise a child.
It does.
Because I stand on that in our neighborhood. It's like your kids is our kids.
Facts.
If your kids come down the street, we gonna treat them like how I treat my kids. You feel me? So I'm not gonna let them do nothing that I don't let my child do. And it's like people more selfish with the youth now, like as far as teaching one. Like they don't wanna, if you see something, like you say, this person might have the parents that let them do this and let them do that.
Mhm.
But when you come around, you don't let them do that.
Facts.
And my mama, we can't curse around her
Mhm.
at all. So my friends, they curse around their mama, but when they come around my mama, they do not curse. So if you can do this around my mama, why you can't do it around yours?
Yeah,
You know, it's
facts.
like a village can
Yeah.
raise a child. for
It definitely
real.
does.
And people don't take their time to speak to the youth. I'm about the youth. I just attract younger people.
Mhm.
And I always tell them, bro, like, no matter what I do, don't follow me.
Facts.
You might not get the same results I did.
Mhm.
You feel me? If you want to do something, I'll help you. Just tell me what you want to do, and we can do it. You feel me? But a lot of people, they don't got that push behind them. I really wish I had that push behind me. I didn't, like I said, I didn't want to do entrepreneurship until I had somebody who really told me, hey, believe in yourself. Like, and that was my uncle. He came around one day, he's an entrepreneur. He do stocks, all kind of stuff. And he was like, listen, if that's really what you want to do, I go as far as you go. So
Big facts.
whatever you doing, I'm gonna come with you.
Mhm.
But when you stop, I stop.
Facts.
So it made me put in the footwork because I know I have somebody to guide me and teach me the right. You know, because there's them people that sit around like, oh, that ain't gonna work.
Oh, yeah.
You can't do that. He gonna be right back. And they wait for you to fall. I had to learn, like, you know, I can't tell everybody my moves. My blessings ain't for everybody, so I can't bring everybody with me. I had to fall out with a lot of people.
Mhm.
But like you say, at the end of the day, they always come back around like, oh, I believe in you and da da da. But I just won't be having the same. I
Yeah.
always love you, but I don't. Now I feel like I can't be around you. You know,
I get it.
I feel like you just thinking negatively and you just around me until it goes good.
Facts.
So when you praying when it go bad, you can run back and oh yeah, I saw him. He ain't got the right how he say he doing this, but really he doing that. He getting it from this and that. I feel like they be around me and watch me, man. But that's just me. I just be.
Oh yeah, but it takes a
I look
village.
at personalities and read. You know, I read people. Because I come with full of good intentions
Word.
always. Because I feel like my blessings don't come from y'all. My blessings come from God. So
Facts.
anything I give you, I ain't giving it to you unless I can afford to give you. Or if I do give it to you, I already take it as a loss.
Loss,
You know,
yeah.
like I'm not expecting it back. So when
Mhm.
you give it back, it's a win for me. You feel me? So
Big facts.
if you don't, God got a bigger blessing for me. And you lost your bridge that, you know, you burnt the bridge because I'm not going to do it
Big
again.
facts.
You know?
Well,
And that's how you should look at it.
But going back to that village thing, like matter of fact, on a break when all y'all left, I was talking with Courtnay myself, and I was telling her like, yeah, when it comes down to certain things, I was raised by a God-fearing family, and it's not just my mother behind me. I got granduncles, uncles, aunts, and they all benefit and they all contribute to me growing up and stuff like that. So with that being said, like I was trying to tell her earlier, you walk in the room, you say hi, you have manners, you get slapped out. Simple as that.
Right.
Or not even that, like going around like your peers and stuff like that. How you supposed to treat your peers versus how you treat yourself and stuff like that. And that comes from having your brothers behind you because the boys gonna steer you in the right directions where you need to go. Like you know how like your parents tell you, oh that ain't your friend, that person ain't really for you. They really know that for real because they went through that and they're younger than
Right.
you, so they're trying to steer you into the right direction so you don't make them same mistakes that they made when they was younger. So having a village is really beneficial,
Very.
but you also can't take advantage of your village neither. Because you get to that point, like crying wolf, you get to that point where you cry wolf so much the more ain't gonna believe you. So just be graceful. Like she said earlier, be graceful with the people that you have because you will want people to be graceful with you too.
Big facts.
For real.
What advice would you have for young couples like me and my fiance that we are on this journey to chasing success? financial freedom, but also trying to maintain our relationship and make sure we just include each other, pay attention to each other, make sure everything is, we have a healthy relationship. What advice? Because I know you older than us, and we really try to get advice.
You did call me old.
No, older. That's
I'm being for real though. I come from grandparents who were married for 50 plus years before my grandmother died first. My parents will be married 41, 42 years this December. And I think the biggest thing with relationships is not trying to change people. Allowing your person to be the person you fell in love with. And then making time for each other. The fact that you work together is awesome, but you also gotta know when to cut the work light off and turn relationship light on. I think these are things that you have to do intentionally. Now, some things come just automatic, but you have to be intentional about spending time. I'm being intentional that today, because I haven't done it in 2 months, I'm going to do something special for my significant other. You have to be intentional about that person. You have to be intentional about the things that you do for that person. And I think sometimes we get caught up in life, but everybody gets caught up in life. And you can't forget that there is a person who is depending on your emotional, partnership, who's depending on your physical partnership. You know what I'm saying? You gotta remember, you have to carve out time to be in the relationship, not just coexist. And just kind of this is our day-to-day. You have to carve out time to be intentional to make this person feel special, loved, needed, and wanted. Because a lot of times, I don't need you, no, I need you. I need you. I need your energy to be positive. I need you to be happy. I need you to feel wanted. You know what I'm saying? So you have to intentionally do some things to let that person know you're needed, and I need you to be at your full potential. And a part of that is just making time for each other.
So speaking of, what does love look like to you?
Love looks amazing to me. Shout out to my man. Thank you to my man. I am in a happy, healthy relationship.
Love it.
Right. And like I was talking to you all earlier, I wasn't able to do that in the business that I was in because I was married to my business. Mm-hmm. It was an everyday business. It was hard, but when I was able to let that go, I was able to carve out the time that I needed for someone, and I have the most amazing boyfriend ever that I probably would have never got to if I still had the everyday business. And now I have not only a partner in relationship, but I have a partner in business. I have a partner who sees things the way I see things. Sometimes we don't agree with everything, but you know what I'm saying? We work a lot. We work really well together. Love just looks very beautiful. It's accepting. Love is, like I said, intentional. I know he's very intentional about some of the things he does for me. I'm very intentional about the things I do for him. I'm accepting of who he is. I'm not trying to change him. He's not trying to change me. Love is adapting to each other's habits and ways. And also, compromising some of the things that, we do or he may do them differently. But love is it's so beautiful. Despite all of the horrible relationships that I've been into prior to, or the ones that he's been into prior to, we didn't take that into this relationship. I don't treat him like the next man. He doesn't treat me like the last woman. You know what I'm saying? We treat each other like who we are. This is me and all that I come with. This is him and all he comes with. Oh, I can deal with that. Oh, I can deal with that. Let's put this together. You know what I'm saying? So we cohabitate. We live together or whatever. We work together. We have a catering business together. We run this venue that we're in together.
Let's clap it up for Black Love,
That's my man. He's older than me, a little older than me, but we work so well together, and I am just so appreciative to have somebody who loves me and allows me to be Courtnay on the big stage and Courtnay with my bonnet on in the house chilling. You know what I'm saying? He loves and accepts me for all areas of me, and he allows me to shine with no shade.
See, man, that's I ain't in a relationship like that. I got an older woman, right? She's about 10 years older.
Okay.
And I'm 28.
Okay.
I'm young. I like to socialize. And part of my entrepreneurship, I want to go into promoting. And,
okay.
You do podcasts podcast.
Yeah.
And stuff, man, she be on me like she like I don't know. She just I feel like she don't be trusting me with that. Like she feel like I'm gonna be.
But include
that's what
her.
she asked. But
Include her.
when I ask her, like she's not a party person. She's a shy person. So I like when I ask her to be involved, it's like you know, like.
Well, you may not ask her to be involved, like, but ask for her input. Ask for ideas. Talk about different podcast topic ideas. Talk about different party theme ideas. Talk about different ways to handle your promotional business. Incorporate her in some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Like, make her feel like she's a part of that world.
Like,
because
she don't have to be such.
she don't gotta be there. She don't gotta come to everything with you. But just knowing that she had a hand in that idea, or she had a hand in, you know, how that played out, like that is something that you can continue to, because some people ain't like, you know, my boyfriend is, once you get to know him now, he kind of turned. But for the grand scheme, you know, he be chilling, you know what I'm saying? He played the pocket, you know what I'm saying, until he's comfortable enough, and then he lit too, you know what I'm saying? But he allows me to be that, but I ask him a lot of questions. I continuously be like, hey, what do you think about this? Or, you know, how do you think I should go about doing this? Or what way do you think, because I need him to know that I want you to be involved with every part of my life. In business, that lane of business is definitely one where it can get kind of cloudy. Where you could be doing these things and you're talking and socializing and that person doesn't feel like they're involved or they have enough time. Make her feel involved by just asking her ideas. What do you think I should do about this? So that way she can feel like she's invested. Now I gotta come home and think of some ideas for Babe. Like, Babe is trying to do this. Like, let me go home and think about some things.
It's gonna push her more to get it.
It's gonna make her, even if it's just, I be creating things. Let me create something for Babe. Let me come up with a new name for something or a new idea. You know what I'm saying? And that's gonna help.
Yeah, I got that.
In a relationship, it's always balance. It always got to be that one.
Oh yeah.
I'll just all of the plays ambitious, and then I always gotta be that one person that's just standoffish and like, yeah, you go handle this, and I'll stand right here.
And
So-
also, hold on, just 1 second. What is she like?
I just told her she like shy.
But does she have any goals and dreams and business ideas?
She want a career in corporate, like.
Oh, so she likes
yeah,
she
like
likes
two
the
different
ones.
people. Yeah,
Okay.
we on two different.
Tell her, me personally being in corporate America is not what she thinks.
But it's going good for her. That's what I'm saying.
No,
And I don't want to make it. You know, just because I want to do entrepreneurship, I don't want to.
You don't want to push
I
that
don't
on
want to
her.
and I don't want to like what's the word? Like depreciate her what she doing.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
I don't want to make it like like I don't gotta work. You know.
But I'm just speaking from the corporate, me being, because before I was in corporate America, I had a regular hands-on manual labor job. I thought that's what I wanted, which I still love my job, don't get me wrong. But anytime you change scenery and you get to that place that you thought you wanted, you will realize there's certain different nuances and things that just like, you know what I'm saying, it don't agree with my grand scheme of my goal, you know what I'm saying? So I thought once I got to corporate America, I would just move up the ladder and then I'd be happy. And I realized I don't want it either, because corporate America is still like capped. So, I mean, not saying always support her, but just tell her, if she tune in, coming from inside of corporate America, it's good, you know what I'm saying? That once you get a break from manual labor, that's nice. But at the end of the day, that mental labor, that's challenging too. And so I come home exhausted every day.
Man, now you gonna be cursed out. I be on her like I be saying that she feel like I'm a narcissist for saying stuff like.
No, I just want her to know that is reality.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. You know, like that's how I make my money. So you know, and I be telling her what else you want to do. I'm all in. Like she'll come to me with ideas, but it's like she's scared to make the step. But I be
make it
telling her.
for her. Let me tell you what I did for Christmas. My boyfriend, he has a screensaver, and on his screensaver, I was like, I noticed it, but I really never really paid much attention. And one day I was like, what is that on your screensaver? And he was like, it's a logo for a t-shirt line that I always kind of wanted to do. And I'm like, really? Like, I've never heard you talk about this shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's on his screensaver for his phone. So I was like, he's like, because he has a job, he's in the robotics, he's a technician. And so I'm like, okay, you ever thought about, pursuing it, Long story short, I kind of kept asking him. He finally got the logo reworked. And I was like, oh, that's nice, but then it stopped there. So for Christmas, I got him 3 t-shirts
Mm-hmm.
with the logo embroidered in it, with hats to match with it embroidered in it, and I got him a jacket with the logo on the back of it, just so he could see his vision, like in the physical. And it was like, oh yeah, this shit look good as mama. I gotta get this shit popping. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and that's what it did. So if she gives you an idea, I don't care if it's lip gloss, boom, whatever. You go and find a little lip gloss and make something for her and give it to her so she can see like, this is the shit you've been talking about. I just kind of put in the work so you can see it and you can physically hold on to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that just made, now my boyfriend is like, we gotta get this thing off the go. You know, shout out to Bass Boys. That's the name of the line.
Bass Boys
and Bass Babes.
I need me some merch.
Definitely.
Yeah, you know.
It's a fishing line, but it's really dope. Kind of, you see how you got the Bass Pro Shop?
Right.
Boom. So it's like it's Bass, instead of Bass Pro Shops, he has Bass Boys and Bass Babes.
Well, if you need some ambassadors, we you know, I
Got you.
And just to add to what you were saying just now, this right here is what we're doing currently, right now, is my dream that came into fruition through Babe. I already had a dream. She made the LLC for me. She bought the podcast mics for me. She has the equipment I already had. I had an already good idea, but she brought it to fruition. You know what I'm saying? And
that's how it works.
That's and I tried to be that same reciprocator for her. Whenever she had.
Shout out to the Bang on the production.
Yeah. So I just say that to say this is living proof of what she's saying. Like that's literally what we're doing right now. This is a result of me having an idea, her bringing it to life, and this is the combination of us coexisting and just making common goal.
Love it.
So certainly appreciate her for that.
Black love.
And last question before we get to wrap it up. What do you think is, and I gotta really stop doing this. I hate this, but when I ask a question, it's always a point I'm trying to get to. And so my point is that I feel like a lot of us in black culture, us as black people, we tend to point out racism, right? And so I think that until we get past what we're doing to ourselves, which is, you know what I'm saying, all the violence within us, we can never address the racism until we get past us, you know what I'm saying, killing each other, non-stop violence, deadbeat dads, things like that. So what do you have to say about that? I know that's
how long we got? Baby, I got some things to say.
A quick thought, if you, because I know you won't get that wine tasting. So.
No, so I love black people. I am in love with black people. And I want nothing more but to see black people love black people. Not even so much the violence, rather than the hate and the downplaying of our greatness, the competition. It annoys me. My only competition is me. I try to outdo myself every time. If I had 4,000 people at the bonfire this year, I want to have 4,500 people next year. Like if my only goal is to outdo me. And we got to stop trying to outdo each other. And we have to start trying to help each other, trying to aid each other versus competing with each other. I love black people. I am annoyed with how we do not support each other. And support does not come in the form of necessarily monetary. You don't have to just say, well, I spent some money with you. There are people who support me and who have never been to an event I've ever thrown. Because that ain't their style. I don't like going out. But I like you, and I like how hard you go, and I like how hard you push your agenda. So I may not go, but I may tell my cousins them who like to go. That's support. You know what I'm saying? You know what, baby girl? I'm not no partier, but I'ma pray for you. That's support. You know what I'm saying? There are so many levels of support, and we just rather take the rumors that we hear about people and spread that, opposed to just saying, hey, I got a podcast, just share the link. That's support. That doesn't, you ain't even have to watch the motherfucker. You feel me? All you got to do is share the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Because if you share it, somebody may watch it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's about. Support is just the simplest fucking thing in the world. And I think that we really are stuck in a Willie Lynch syndrome to where we have been taught to hate on each other. You know, whenever I'm big on Black Power. I'm big on Black people coming together and loving each other, right? Not to play no other race, but I love mine a lot. And I hate to see how other races and communities come together and do so much dope shit together, and we can't have a fucking cookout without somebody talking shit about who made the macaroni. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't do shit together without complaining about it. And I'm annoyed with it. But I know it is systematic. I know that these systems were set in place so that we could forever be against each other. I know that, and I hate that. Everybody can't see that. You know what I'm saying? I hate that everybody can't recognize that. Yeah. That's how it was, from colorism to weight to hair texture. Like we got something to say. Oh, you natural bitches think y'all all that, or you light skinned heifers think y'all pretty, or you know, or you fat bitches is this that, and the third, or you tall niggas think that they can play ball. Like no, every tall nigga don't gotta play basketball. They can be a fucking scientist. You know what I'm saying? Like we have got to stop going against each other, and we got to start coming together more. But I know that these are systems put in place. You know, I was just watching the new Shirley Chisholm movie on Netflix. Watch it, Black folks, if you get time, watch it.
Regina King, right?
Yes, even the Godfather of Harlem. You know, when I watch these things about how back in the day, you know, when Bumpy Johnson, Godfather of Harlem, was doing his thing, Bumpy was working with Malcolm X and other preachers and stuff. The drug dealers, the community, the politicians, they all worked together.
Everybody did their part.
Everybody did their part. It didn't matter if I was selling drugs. You knew that I had resources. I knew that you had resources, and the goal was we ain't buying the drugs from the Italians or the Mexicans. We got our own club, and we doing our drugs, and we doing it. Even though putting drugs in the community is fucking wrong, but either way, they had enough sense to know we gotta work together.
And it was a bigger picture. They was taking care of the community.
And it's just like I'm not knocking nobody for doing whatever the fuck they do, but let's just come together and do it. Like there should not be such a huge divide. And I pray I get to see it in my lifetime that we can come together and really, really stick together. But when I tell you it's sad, we can't even have a goddamn cookout. And I hate the fact that, you know, white is right. I hate that I can tell you something, but you're gonna question it. The white man or the white woman in the suit can tell you this. And it's gospel to you.
Right.
Because they said it, they look like they know what they're talking about because they're a professional and they're white, and I assume that, you know, just because they white, that they know the right answer and I don't. And we do that to each other. Yes. We do it to each other, and I fucking hate it. You know what I'm saying? And that's not to hate on no other fucking race. I just love mine a lot more. And I hate the fact that we don't come together. It's fucking annoying. And if y'all hear me say anything in this podcast, please come together. And I don't care what support looks like to you. I'm telling you, support does not mean monetary. Support is a share of a post. Support is a congratulations. Support is a keep going. Support is don't stop. Support is I'm proud of you. That's all the fuck it is. That's my TED Talk.
Point blank period.
Yeah, just to add real quick, right before we wrap up, but just to add to that, that's huge. Support is what uplifts everybody. And you know what I'm saying? We be getting support, but at the same time, it's sometimes it hurt my feelings. I try not to get too caught up in it because I know that's how it is, and my target audience is outside of where I live at for the most part. I would want them to tune in, but obviously it's probably not coming from there. But the most hurtful thing I would say that happened is that I got brothers and stuff like that don't even share my posts. You know what I'm saying? So I see them share all type of other stuff. Could be positive, could be negative, but y'all can't even share
or
the link to my podcast. Right, that you don't know, but you can't even share the link to my podcast, and we share the same. You know what I'm saying? So that's like I say,
you say you like I got a little clothing brand thing. I decided to put my thing out. Man, you would think the people that be around me every day, partying with me every day.
No.
Ain't even buy a hoodie and ask me for a
because a celebrity
ain't give it to y'all.
Because a celebrity ain't wearing it. So now we ain't doing it. But you got so many celebrities who wear white brands that are big names and are making them millions of dollars. Me and my boyfriend talked about Young Dro the other day. Young Dro, y'all know Young Jordan rapper, right? When he came in, he was wearing nothing but polo, just polo down, polo. He went to polo like, yo, I'm wearing all this polo, I'm spending $100,000 for polo, trying to get an endorsement, brand ambassador. Polo told him, no. But you got everybody wearing polo because you wearing it in these goddamn videos. But what if you had been wearing a black brand?
Right.
That could have been.
You know what I'm saying?
And you wouldn't get rejected.
And you would have had piece of that pie, and you would have helped uplift their brand.
But that is the issue. And before I go, I got to shameless plug. My name is Courtnay Nicole. For those who did not catch that in the beginning, I am a venue owner. We're here at the Coan in one of our rooms. I will be launching Coan Creative in the next few months, where podcasts can happen here, video shoots can happen here, content shoots can happen here as well. I got several different rooms for that. Also, I am a licensed life insurance agent. Black people, if you don't have nothing, you better get you some life insurance.
Need life
insurance. Because people are dying here, and we are tired of having GoFundMe and fish fries so we can have to take care of funeral expenses. And you need the right type of life insurance. So get at your girl Courtnay Nicole Coan on social media. I can help you out with that. Also, y'all know I do the bonfire, I do erotic poetry, I do Neo Soul Sunday, I do the R&B picnic and Cooler Fest. All of these events are dropping very soon. I got a website, CourtnayNicole.com. Do not sleep on yourself. Do not stop believing in yourself. Your belief in yourself got to be bigger than any doubt a hater could have towards you. Black people, I love you. You mean the world to me, even though you act ignorant as fuck sometimes, but I will never stop loving you. I just had to put my little shake.
No, I love that. Y'all make sure y'all check out the Naked Truth podcast.
Let's get naked.
Courtnay got the Naked Truth podcast. Let's get naked. I'm sorry.
Let's get naked.
We thank y'all so much for tuning in to Plug In Podcast. I'm your host, Product. We got TATY. We got Motion Boy METT. Y'all make sure y'all tap in with the merchandise. And we are so thankful for the business mogul and such an integral part of our culture here in Charleston. Courtnay gracing us with her presence. Y'all make sure y'all like, share, subscribe to the Plugged In Podcast Entertainment. We out, West Cash. We in.
We out.
Okay, West Cash.
Yeah.